Surprise, motherfucker!
I am Batman. Average Sniper.
What's up, everybody? Average Sniper here, bringing you another Battlefield 1 video, and this one is all about the Lebel Model 1886 sniper rifle. Yep, I know I have made probably 2 or 3 videos before this about the sniper rifle, but I just wanted to make another one and give you guys some detailed stats that were a little confused or maybe even left out of the first video due to not having enough information available online. I have found some confirmed stats for the Lebel Model 1886 sniper rifle, and I'm going to give those to you guys, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about this gameplay and about the best ways I have found to use this sniper rifle. So let's go ahead and get started with the weapon stats. I'm just going to read these off to you guys and maybe comment on them a little bit. So the Lebel Model 1886 sniper rifle has a sweet spot between 50 through 87.5 meters. So this is kind of like a cross between the SMLE Mark III sniper rifle and the Russian 1895 sniper rifle. The bullet drop is 12 meters per second. The rate of fire is 56. The muzzle velocity, which is what I couldn't find last time, is 720 meters per second. And a single bullet reload time is 0.43 seconds, and the strip reload time is 1.5 seconds. However, you can skip that, which is the very last part of the animation, by switching to your secondary weapon and switching back, because it is kind of unnecessary to wait for that when you can simply switch back and forth between your secondary and primary weapon a lot quicker than waiting for the animation to finish. So when it gets to that last part, once you see that it's loaded 8 bullets into the gun, you can go ahead and skip that animation. The magazine size is 8 rounds. The total rounds the gun starts with is 32. It's got 8 loaded in it, and it's got 24 left that you can reload into it. And that's about all the stats I can think that you will ever possibly need for this gun. If you want more detailed stats, then I will provide a link in the video description to where I got these stats from, so you can check out everything. So if you're interested, check that video description and you will find a lot more detailed information other than what I've already given you. Alright, now let's talk about the scopes on this sniper rifle. So this sniper rifle is best used for medium range, so I prefer the 6 times scope on it. However, you can have the 5 times, 6 times, 8 times, or 10 times scope. This means that when you zoom in, you will have glint, which means the enemies will be able to see you like you're shining a flashlight on the end of your gun. It's always been like that in Battlefield, so if you're new and you're wondering why you see people sniping with flashlights on their gun, that is not a flashlight, that is the glint from the scope. It happens in the fog, in the dark, and in the daytime. It doesn't make much sense, but it is kind of necessary, because if you got a pesky sniper shooting at you from far away that's just ruining your day, at least you can see where he is when he aims in at you with that scope glint. So be careful about that. So I recommend the 6 times scope for most engagements. That is my favorite scope in the entire game. And the reason for that is because when you're shooting close to medium range, you don't want a scope that doesn't zoom in far enough, and you don't want one that zooms in way too far. And I found the perfect compromise is the 6 times scope. So that is what I pretty much exclusively stick with when I'm using a sniper rifle for medium range. If I'm going long range, then I'm looking for the 8 to 10 times scope. I hardly ever use the 5 times scope, but the only reason I would do that is if I was in close quarters combat all the time, because I do enjoy the 4 times scope, but we don't have a 4 times scope variant of this sniper rifle yet. Alright, so let me talk a little bit about the best way that I've found to use this sniper rifle. Now, a lot of people out there are saying, you know, it's an aggressive sniper rifle, and I tend to agree. But you got to be careful with how aggressive you are with it, because if you get too close and start shooting people in the midsections, you're going to do about 60 damage if you're really close. And that means you're going to have to switch to your pistol and shoot them 2 or 3 times if you're not getting headshots. before you finish them off. And that can be really dangerous because even if you do get the kill, then you got to reload your pistol, switch back to your sniper rifle, pop another bullet into the chamber with the bolt action animation, and it's just a nightmare because somebody's probably going to kill you while you're doing that. I get killed the most when I'm in the middle of reloads. It happens to all of us. So if you're going to be aggressive with this sniper rifle, go for upper body to headshots. Always go for headshots if you can, but I understand sometimes you'll get in situations and engagements where the headshot is just not a possibility because you just have to go fast and you just got to quick scope it out. Go for headshots if possible, but try to avoid getting too close. Like I said, the sweet spot for this gun is in between 50 and 87.5 meters. I have noticed that in order to get sweet spot kills, you have to hit them pretty high up. Now, if we all remember the Martini Henry sweet spot, that gun, you didn't have to shoot them very high up in the body at all. So if you're used to that, you're gonna have to relearn how to shoot for the upper body. And like I said, always go for the headshots, but if you have to shoot upper body, just make sure you go for that sweet spot distance. I have found the best way to do this is by patrolling the outside of the objectives. A lot of experienced snipers already know how to do this, and this will get you a ton of kills and will also help your team because you can take out enemies that are either capturing or trying to defend the objective. While you might not be on the objective physically, you're still helping your team capture or defend the objective by patrolling the perimeter and keeping your distance between 50 and 87.5 meters so you can easily pick off those enemies with the upper chest shot sweet spot kills between 50 and 87.5 meters. I probably said that those numbers 100 times in a row now. Alright, so I guess with this gun you can be fairly aggressive. I find myself playing pretty aggressively with it, but I also do a fair amount of oh, a little nice no scope there, a fair amount of defense. This gun works great regardless of whether you're playing aggressively or defensively, but regardless what gun you're using, if you're going to play aggressive, make sure your team's backing you up. No matter how good you are, you can only shoot enemies one at a time unless they're lined up and giving you easy collateral kills. So make sure your team is backing you if you're playing aggressive, and if you're playing defensive, just find a good spot where you're going to be hard to see and you're within that sweet spot, radius. If you're a headshot beast when it comes to sniper rifles, then it really doesn't matter what sniper rifle you use except in considering the muzzle velocity. So the muzzle velocity of this gun is 720 meters per second, which isn't the slowest in the game, but it also is not the fastest. So keep that in mind when leading your targets. The bullet drop on this gun is pretty much it's 12 meters per second, so that's about the same as every other sniper rifle in this game, probably because of gravity. I don't think that's the actual gravity of Earth as it stands in the real world, but this game's physics I don't think are exclusively based on how everything is exactly in the real world. Otherwise, we'd probably see a lot more one-shot kills, because I seriously doubt in real life somebody would be able to take a sniper bullet to the chest and just keep on shooting and with only 60% damage, if you will. So get used to the Battlefield 1 physics for each sniper rifle, and you will get used to leading your targets and how the bullet drop works. I find that I have to aim a little higher over their heads than some of the other sniper rifles, and that might just have to do with the muzzle velocity, because all that comes into play when we're talking about gun physics. Alright, so now let me talk a little bit about the upcoming DLC, They Shall Not Pass. Now, this sniper rifle is included in the DLC, so you have to either purchase the DLC separately, which I'm sure you'll be able to do, or you have to have premium. The reason you see videos of people playing with this sniper rifle and some of the other new guns and the new maps is basically because that is part of PC Premium. If you have PC Premium, you can sign up for the CTE, which is the community test environment, and you can test out these new DLC maps and weapons and settings before the game actually comes out, which is a really good thing because I have found the new map spawns. That's my biggest complaint about these new maps is the spawns. They seem to be really glitchy. I don't know if they're just using some kind of old code for the spawns in this CTE, but they've been pretty bad. Like, you spawn on one objective and it spawns you closer to the other objective. It spawns you in between enemies all the time. Sometimes you have the advantage, sometimes they have the advantage, but the point is, whenever you spawn in on an objective, the game should be coded so that it doesn't spawn you into a spot that's too advantageous or put you at a disadvantage. You know, if it spawns you in front of 3 enemies that are looking at you, you're probably going to die. Even if you can take one of them out, you really don't have much of a chance. The same thing goes if you spawn in behind a couple enemies that aren't looking at you, you just got a couple free kills. And that really shouldn't happen. So I'm really hoping they fix the spawns before this DLC is released to premium and to the public. And that would just be awesome, because that's the main thing I see wrong with these new maps. Second thing is, it seems like 2 of the maps, the one I'm playing on now, which I'm just going to call Soy Sauce because I haven't looked up the pronunciation. It's actually Soissons. So it looks like Soissons if you're American, but I guarantee you that's not how it's actually pronounced. And then Rupture. Now, Soy Sauce seems to be dominated by tanks. I think there's about 4 tanks per side. Actually, I'm not 100% sure if each side gets 4, but I'm fairly certain, because every time I go to spawn in this map, I see that there's 4 tanks available before anyone has spawned in. That's really my only complaint about this map, is it seems to be too many tanks, and the objectives are a little too close together for that many tanks. So while you might have some good games as infantry, you'll probably mostly have bad games as infantry, because there's so many tanks that you just can't do anything about unless you decide to gang up with people and play the assault class. Even if you're good at taking out one tank by yourself, most of the time you're going to end up dealing with multiple tanks at the same time. So you're going to need a good squad of assault players. Having said that, it's not really too advantageous to be an assault player on this map, because there's a lot of open fields, hills. The only place that assault would work really good is if you get to the objective and you're just defending or offending. But in between the objectives, being a scout or a medic or support is probably all preferable over the assault class. So I see a lot of tanks surviving because nobody wants to play assault. Now the other map is Rupture. That one is awesome, but it seems like the planes, there's way too many. The planes have the advantage on that map. I don't know if they're going to keep it like that or not, but that was my only complaint about the CTE, is the bad spawn points, the tanks on Soy Sauce, and the planes on Rupture. So I hope you guys enjoyed this gameplay and this information. I hope it was helpful to you. If you enjoyed, go ahead and hit the like button. If you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe. Check my channel info for streams or the video description, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.